I do a lot of reels on Instagram. I'm a digital skills trainer. I've worked with Google as a digital skills trainer. I'm a community manager. So I'm the community manager for Enyata community, also the community manager for Web3 Ladies. And yeah, these are like the companies I've got to work with in the past. So let's get into it. Let's start with where it all started. It all started with the most trendy buzzword, which is NFT. I think NFT is one thing we've been hearing from last year to this year. That's just been NFT. And what is NFT? If we had to go into it, so NFT, they just mean non-fungible tokens, are digital ownership certificates with property rights enforced by blockchain technology. So you get non-fungible tokens means that it can be replaced. It can't be replaced with something else. It has to be what it is or what you minted. So I'll go back to this, the emergence of NFTs. So the first NFT was from Ethereum, and it was called Etheria, and that's from Wikipage. And after that, just to put it out there, when Etheria launched, nobody believed in it. Nobody even bought it. It stayed like for a whole year before, or a few years before we began to have other kinds of NFT, which are like crypto kitties and the rest of them. Now we have several NFT communities springing up day, by the second. It's as if everybody really wants to get into this thing now. Okay, so understanding communities, I'll try to define what community is. A community can be defined as a group of people forming a smaller social unit, sharing common interests, work, identity, and location. For me, I'll say community is just a group of people with a shared interest. It's usually the interest for them. It's usually the interest that's bringing us together. And it's good that we know that the word togetherness, the word community has a strong power. It conveys a sense of togetherness and positivity. There has to be a bond that like brings us together. And this is something that you have to note when you're going to build communities around your NFT. All right, communities and NFT projects. Communities are very, very important when you want to build NFTs. And why is it even important that your NFT project has a community? One thing about NFT, or one thing that is very sure about NFTs, is that NFTs go with the hype. If you're going to sell a particular NFT, if your NFT is going to make as much sale as possible, it has to have people that are backing it. Who is talking about it? Who is tweeting about it? Who is saying something about it? Who is interested in this project? So for communities, it has to be very important that at least you build a community around your project or what you're going to do. So for communities, before an NFT drops, the community refers to the people who are already engaging on the project or on the product. Okay, people that are going to say, oh, this is the story that behind it. This is us in the Discord channel. This is what we know. We don't know anything about it. The NFT is not out yet, but we believe in it. We believe in the future of this project. These are like the community people. Yes. And it's us. I remember one time when Women Tribe NFT was going to launch. I don't know, but because of how it looked, it was feminine, the story behind it, I said, okay, this is the community I want to belong to. I've not seen NFT. NFT has not seen me, but I know that this is the one I want. This is the particular one that I want. Then after you have launched your NFT, who becomes the community after you've launched and people have minted? It now relates to people on Discord who are having small group discussions, who really follow the project to the very end. These are the people that will not say, oh, we are going to build animation project, we are having a YouTube channel, this is the event we have around this NFT project, this is the swag. So people even go as far as minting it, creating it, and putting it in a gallery or something. So this is like the people, the community behind the NFT. So at every touch point or at every point you are trying to create an NFT project, you have to be conscious of this. Be conscious of the people. Who are they? What are they interested in? How are we working around it to make sure that it works? Because without the community or without you carrying people around along your journey, except you're Don Jazzy or except you're Beyonce that you just carve that say, I want to launch my NFT and boom, it sells. It has to go with the hype at every time. So building NFT communities the right way. how to get people interested in your product without even forcing it, without having to shout too much, without having to scream and say, oh, I am building NFT, oh, come to me. And you have to, I've seen a lot of community practices around NFT, and I feel, if we keep going like this, in few months, nobody will even be interested in what we are talking about. So that is even the reason why I'm giving this talk. Community building is the most critical part of any NFT project. The following slide will review practical examples to building engaging communities. So, define your target audience. Before you decide to before the idea comes to your head, who is this NFT going to be for? Is it specifically for women? Which SDG are we trying to tackle? Some people tie their NFT to a particular SDG. They are like, okay, this is who we are trying to relate to. There's one NFT I saw, and in the illustration concerning the NFT, it had people that were, I don't know, they were smoking weed and all of those things. And I'm like, this one is not for me. This part, yes, so I like, most NFT projects is monkey. Everybody likes monkey, but me, I don't like monkey. And somehow, I know that this project is not for me. I would rather stick to something that is really promoting women or something. But let me just tell you, there's some people that are interested in the weed kind of NFT and the story behind it. You know that every NFT project actually has a story. Like for Afro Bubbles, we know that the war is coming and we're all preparing for war, and 4,000 how many bubs, we're all ready to go out there and fight. So it has to be a story that you know that this is the target audience that is interested in this kind of comics. So put that at the back of your mind. Art is great, NFTs are amazing, but you have to understand that not everyone will love your art and your story, and it's fine. It's very, very fine. It's totally fine. You can draw anything, and I might not like it, but the next person will appreciate it, which is good. From the initial stage, start by defining your target audience. It helps you to connect with the right tribe. Okay? Yeah. So, moving on to the next stage, offer value. Offer value. So one thing about working with communities or building communities over the years is that people go where the value is, just like an ant, a piece of ant going towards sugar. Do you understand how that thing works? The ant will always flow towards sugar. So if you're not giving me value, NFT communities are plenty. Which one will I be active in? The one that offers me value, obviously, that's where I'll go to. At least they have my best interest at hand. There are several NFT projects and communities springing up by the second, if you don't know. Somebody's already thinking about bringing another Discord channel that all of us will see join and get out for whitelist and all of that. Offering value is the only way to stay afloat. Think of creative ways that your community will add value to our communities. What are we going to eat? See, community is about the people. And if you have to do it well, you have to do it right. Always ask people for feedbacks. I know Shodipo said some of them actually in the general talk. Try to make people excited and happy at every time. One thing I do very well in my community is that I have this, at the end of every week or every month, we call everybody in the community and we have a general group meeting. Ask for feedback. Okay, so what can we improve on? What can we do better? And some of you hear them talking, they'll say, okay, let's have physical events, let's have physical meetup. I don't know somebody for this community, I want to network, I want to know more. So it just helps you to know what the people really want, and you help them to get started around it. Okay. Next thing will be to show a clear roadmap. If I don't think I can buy an NFT project that I don't know the value or where we'll be in the next 5 to 10 years. So if you're going to create communities, make sure that you're showing us step by step. Okay, this is what we are doing in the next 3 months. This is when we are launching our comic. This is when we are going to start doing live TV shows. This is when we are creating, magazines and all. This is the swags that we are putting on. Let me have the clear roadmap. I don't want something that I don't know how to go about it. For people to fully believe in your vision and a project, they have to have a picture of it. People want to be fully involved in it. So the next slide, treat members as stakeholders. Everybody has an opinion, for God's sake. Try to listen to people. Yes, it's your community, you're the founder, but if they live only you, why are you going to buy 4,500 NFTs? Definitely no. So the people are as important as the project. Do you get it? All right. Learn to delegate responsibilities. I also said something there inside the general talk. just like NFTs are like organizations, they are like firms that you need to work with. Every project is like an organization, a platform that you need to work with. You're going to hire a community manager. You're going to hire several things that you need to hire for. Why don't you give it to your community members? Obviously, there are people in your community that can do front end, they can do design, they can do illustration. Why do you have to outsource it when you have like community members? And once you give me a responsibility in the community, I see you've taken me like, I'm part of it. Yes, I'm a stakeholder in this thing. I have an opinion in it. So people appreciate it when you like offer them roles. So learn to give people roles when you're building your projects. All right, don't force people to grind. So there was one tweet that popped up earlier this year, and one guy was saying, I'm not going to buy any NFT projects. A very serious guy, I'm not going to buy any NFT project that's forcing people to grind. What does it mean by grinding? Oh yeah, bring 5 people there, you collect whitelist position. No, we don't do that over here. Yes, you can do it for the period of time, but once you continue like that, you know what you do? You just gather freeloaders to your community, people that just call for whitelist position. Once it's over, they just stop talking and everybody disappear. So what I would advise, try to make sure that these people are involved, you're giving them value rather than just giving them free things, freebies today, tomorrow, and the next day. All right? So some NFT communities nailing it. So I'll say Woman Tribe NFTs, because if you should enter their Discord chat there, if you don't hold yourself well, you will disappear, you run away from the, because the discussions going on in there. People are talking about their dogs and cats, down to pets, down to music that they love, down like things, very little things that about them. There's a whole lot of discussion going on by the minutes, and this wasn't forced. This wasn't built by just whitelist positions or trying to draw. This was real connection of people coming together. You know, after that, the world has been boring for so many people. So people are just looking for a place of belonging. Why don't you build a tribe where they can all belong, and everybody, all of us can all belong, and talk about little things that actually affect us as people? Why we have a project that like stands out for us. All right. So I also said Afro Bubble, NFT, Bored Ape, and the rest of them. If you want to continue learning about NFTs, please join Web3 Ladies if you're a lady. And for the guys, I think the other communities are referred to guys, but you know, but you can always ask me. So, and questions and answers. Then thank you for listening to this talk.